let's talk about one of your other loves, metal.
Fuck yeah.
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 So I heard you met Phil in Slimo one time,
Love metal.
maybe two times.
I've met Phil twice, once and both times as a fan.
Yep.
I haven't done it professionally.
To all the Pantera fans out there.
Yeah. It's being a Pantera fan has become a controversial thing, but mate, Pantera was everything to me as a youth, and
Name this controversy. What's the
oh dude, it was
I'm sort of interested as well. I mean, like metal seems to have this like not a bad image, but like an individual image sometimes. But it's not. I mean, like some of these people. I mean, you can help me here, Dwayne, but like some of these musicians are the most talented musicians out there.
Absolutely.
And the way of expressing themselves is so heartfelt to some people. I mean, like if I'm going to go to a show and pay money, I want to see the craziest thing ever. Like I just don't want to see some guy or girl there just like, and this is my song about what lunch I had today. I don't want to hear that. So like, elaborate more with me, like with the music and your passion for metal. Let's go.
Yeah, I'll get to the controversy thing in a sec, but I mean, sonically, it's not for everyone. I understand that. Like, I'll put on something that I think is like I'll put on Metallica, and for some people, that's too much. Like
I love Metallica.
Like all this music behind me, and the access I have to music, and a lot of it, none of it gets played in this house because me and my wife Amy are chalk and cheese when it comes to musical taste. Like she leans more towards country, which let me tell you is not for me. Like there might be a couple of guys I can like. Chris Stapleton is amazing. I love him. We went and saw him in 2017 over in the States, but other than that, like there's maybe a handful of bands that we come together on. So I understand sonically, aesthetically, we scare people. Like I don't think I necessarily scare people, but you get the guys with long black hair and a bit of mascara, and they're just catching the train decked out in black, and some of them got chains and spikes and shit, and that's just how they dress day to day.
Yeah.
Like to me, I'm like, oh, there's one of me. There's one of my people. I'll go and talk to that dude. But for 95+% of the population, that person's weird, and I'm going to sit in another carriage. So
it's really weird that you mentioned that. I mean, like metal, I think, is a way of expressing yourself in such a like not an angry way, but it's like getting your feelings out.
Exactly.
No, you can be angry, man. Like it used to be.
As being like you see the guy down the street with all the crazy stuff and tattoos and all that, and like then they're not bad people. They're just good at expressing themselves. Man, like you almost wonder someone that goes down the street and doesn't have these crazy tattoos and this funny hairstyle. Like, what are they actually doing?
Yeah.
Most of the serial killers in history look like one of you guys. So
that's right.
look like the normals.
Thanks.
They had the suit and ties. They look like the normals. So no, but I mean, I remember seeing those guys and growing up. Like I grew up in like a Catholic household. We went to church on Sundays and we prayed and all that sort of stuff. And I had the slicked haircut. Even still, like there's something about me I just can't get away from that haircut. But
you look mint, mate. You look mint.
Yeah, but I remember when the guy who introduced me there was a guy who lived 2 doors up. He introduced me to heavy metal. He introduced me to motorbikes. He introduced me to heavy like tattoos. He's one of my heroes. He's no longer with us, unfortunately. But he also taught us about drugs and why to stay away from them. He was a good man. But I remember he had a party and all these guys turned up in motorbikes and leather jackets and denim jackets, and they were listening to ZZ Top and just rock and roll and heavy metal. And I went, this is the best thing ever. Mum was like, don't you go too crazy. I'm like, Mum, I don't want to leave, and that's how I feel. So heavy metal, I've met some of my best friends in the world listening to heavy metal. My best mate, Jack, he introduced me to Pantera, like some of my lifelong friends, they introduced me to different bands like Anthrax and Metallica and Slayer. And, I've made lifelong friendships on the back of music. One of my friends, Ben, he was wearing a Pantera shirt the day I met him. And I said, that's a cool shirt. He goes, how good a Pantera? I said, let's go to the pub. We've been mates ever since. So
I got a confession to make. Growing up at Little A's, I remember you wearing Slayer, and Megadeth, and Metallica.
Yeah.
And I love the artworks, and that's what inspired me to listen to metal.
Yeah. Oh, awesome. That's cool. Yeah, I love it. There was another mate of mine, Jimmy Fernandez. I don't know if you remember him. Mad as a cut snake. James Fernandez. I met him.
Yes, I know. Yeah.
Yeah. So Jimmy, I remember I coached him, and he was like maybe 11 or 12, so whatever it was. He was like an early teen.
Yeah.
So I was driving, and I'd drive. Sometimes I'd have to pick him up and take him to games, and then I'd say, "Sorry, mate, you listen to my music." And I put on Korn.
Yeah.
And he lost his mind, like lost his mind. He was like, I'm like, get your seatbelt back on, because he was jumping around. And to the point where even, I think it was about 5 years ago, there was a festival, there was Download Festival where Korn and Limp Bizkit were both at it down in Melbourne. And I just thought in the back of my head, I wonder if I run into Jimmy down here. And it was just before, it was at the end of Korn, and I'd just gone to the loo, just take a piss, and I walked out, and there was Jimmy, and he's like, Duane James, and he had no shirt on, he'd lost the indues, he was in footy shorts. I'm like, how mad was that? It was the same 13-year-old I knew back in the day. So look, musically it always just made sense to me. I remember when Kylie Minogue was #1 in the country for a million years with Locomotion, and we listened to it every day, but then someone put on some rock music, and then Faith No More comes on the TV, and Skid Row, and then Guns N' Roses, and then AC/DC, and I'm like, that's music to me. And so it's sort of elevated from there. So I listen to anything from glam metal right through to death metal and all that and beyond. So
thinking back a few years, I don't know if you remember, but I remember one night, I think you lived at Freeman's Reach. I got dropped off at your house, and you and I think Jack as well. Yeah, Dana might have been there, but you guys took me to my first blue light disco.
Oh shit!
And I remember we had to wait 3 songs before a metal song came on, and then we were all
at the front.
It was the first time I'd ever had headbang, and for days after, my neck was sore. I couldn't move my neck.
The first time I ever did it, I had to go to the toilet and lay on the cold floor and try not to spew up. It was gross. Yeah, it was. But yeah, look. Now it's a friend of mine who I've known for 20 years. We went to this show. It was on a boat. There's a boat on Sydney Harbour called Simo's. And they're like a dive bar on the water, and they have grindcore bands in there. And one of my favourite Aussie bands at the moment is a mob called King Parrot.
Okay.
I've been listening to them for 10 years. They are so good. I got to catch up with them in Brisbane recently, but they were on this boat, and she took a photo of me on the barricade, and I'm sitting there drinking a water because it was so hot. And the singer Youngie he was perched up and over the top of me. And I'm sitting there, and I've got the biggest shit-eating grin on my face. And, Amy look at it and go, hey, why are you so happy? You got people sweating all around you. There's noise blaring in your ears. And I'm like, dude, that is my happy place. Like, being with those people, listening to that music in that scene. Oh, yeah, it fills me up. I do love it. That's why I chase them all around the place.
Yeah. Who's your top band that you just love listening to? You always go to.
You know what? Like, I love Pantera. They are my favorite band. But if you put on Slayer at any time of day, it's never. To me, there's no bad Slayer albums. Even the stuff that they said was bad, I love that stuff. The sort of stuff that had that new metal tinge. It's so good.
Yep.
So you can put Slayer on any time of day, any weather, regardless of my mood, and I'll listen to that. It's the best. And it's never like, I can fall asleep to Slayer, but at the same time, it revs me up to no end.
I listen to metal in the gym, and that gets me pumped at the gym. So Slipknot, Metallica, whatever. That's the harder the better. But Pantera,
if you feel like you're dragging your ass a bit, put on a mob called Lamb of God.
Yes, I've heard of them. I haven't listened to them yet.
They are. Yeah. Try not to pick up weights when you listen to those guys.
That's it, man. Like, a lot of people don't really understand. Like, not a lot of people. I mean, metal is very, very popular. It's fantastic popular. But like, I go to the gym sometimes when I feel energized, and like, there's guys in there that just have the headphones on.
Yep.
And like, you know, I'm sometimes I want to like have a chat sometimes, but they got the headphones on. You can hear the metal just blaring in their heads when they're pumping weights and stuff like that.
Yeah.
They look like they're just a man possessed, but it's just like all he wants to do is just be as strong as he can, as powerful as he can for that hour that he's in the gym.
Yep.
He's not doing anything wrong whatsoever. He's just driving himself on and just like listening to this crazy music. To some people it's crazy music, but it's not.
Yeah.
But then like it's just
it's crazy
himself as it goes along, and he'll walk past you like the biggest prick in the world. But like I know, because I've been an athlete myself, and like I know all he's doing is pumping himself up, and then he drives me on as well. Like you look at this guy, and he's just like, that guy really means business here. I'm in business too. You know, like,
I think also I know for me, over the years, there are albums, there are songs that there's albums that align my focus. Like if you put on Slayer's Season in the Abyss, I can lock in. Like if I'm struggling to focus, I'll put that on. I'll put on Pantera's Vulgar Display of Power. I'll even put on like Pearl Jam's first album. You know, like if I don't feel like having my ears blown out, I'll put that on, and that helps align my focus. Because I used to do my homework to it when I was in high school. You know,
Yeah.
so and definitely in the gym, you know, you put on Slayer, dude. I'll get PBs left, right, and center. I'll pick up more than I should. You know, I love that stuff. You know,
I don't mean
when you like on the you know, it's the best.
I'll tell you something, which it's not personal, but what I used to do, like when I was racing bikes, like everyone knows I race bikes, but like I used to find a song that would match the same time as it was for a downhill run. So then, like, I know it's crazy to think about, but like in the start gate, I would know exactly what I was going to do, determined by what was happening in the song. So I used to sit there like a crazy person, like all people are. Everyone's crazy, right? And so like I would have this song in my head, and then I would time every single corner and every single straight to what the song would represent, and then I would try and put it into my head exactly the time, what it was to the track that I was riding on, and try and emulate that every single time. So every single beat of the drum or like the bass or pumping anything, I would try and do exactly that onto what it was inspiring me.
Like a navigation guide.
Yeah. That's genius.
That's cool.
Genius.
That takes a beautiful mind, Nathan.
Yes.
I'm a crazy person, right? But like, but what it was, I mean, like I had a track record one day back in Yarramundi, and it was 2 minutes and 12 seconds. So I found a song that was 2 minutes and 12 seconds long, and then went through every single corner in my head and played the song in my head just to recreate that. And it made me remember every single corner. I'm doing it right now. I can remember every single part of that track in my head because the beat of the song was going through my head.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, Roland's band might be good for that stuff. It's got a real like dun 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 in it, you know. It's like, but then occasionally he'll yell at you.
How do you think new metal stacks up against the old greats?
Yeah, there's good and the bad. I remember when it came out, it was there are people who say discouraging things about it. Some of it is filler, but some of it is great. And I remember at the time it was important.
Yeah.
Because during that 90s, like you guys would have been, well, you guys would have remembered it. Like at the start of the 90s, I remember Pantera did Cowboys from Hell in 1990. Then Metallica did the Black Album in 91. And then after that, every metal album that came out, to the media at least, paled in comparison. You know, you had these legendary albums coming out in heavy metal, like Sepultura were doing stuff, but it was all sort of blindside, like it all sort of pushed to the back because it never matched up to the Black Album by Metallica.
Yeah.
And then
Guns N' Roses, Use Your Illusion 1, Use Your Illusion 2.
Yeah. I think he's sort of like there's like a 6 to 7 week break where some of the best albums of the 90s all came out. And after that, like I remember going just to Richmond Records, and I'd struggle to find any heavy metal. Like I remember telling a story to the guys at Utopia Records once that when I was 16, I caught the train. I had $16 on me. I was 15 or 16. I had $16 on me. I caught the train to Sydney without a ticket. Went to Utopia Records, asked them to put on Morbid Angels' Blessed Are the Sick, which was a $50 import CD. And I walked around for 45 minutes listening to that record, and then bought some, I think Sodom. I bought a band. I bought a tape by Sodom, and it cost me $10, and I had $6 for food, and I caught the train back and just prayed that I didn't get caught with a $200 fine I couldn't afford. So, it was just, that was the lengths we had to go to listen to an album that we wanted to, and I could only listen to it once. And like, do you want to buy it? I'm like, no, give me this cheap piece of shit. So, it was hard. So at the time, like, you had the 90s, you had the early 90s, right through about 94. Then Pantera released Far Beyond Driven, and that went to number one. But in that period, there was all the grunge, and I liked grunge. Like, I there's still albums there again, like Alice in Chains, Dirt. I can put that on, and I can, it aligns my focus. So, but heavy metal, we couldn't find it. Then 94 Pantera, but then what was there? There was a bit of death metal coming up, but it was impossible to get in Australia.
Yeah.
And then new metal come out, and I remember being at HMV and seeing Korn, their second album on the listening post. Remember they had a listening post, and I listened to it and I bought it. I remember the same listening post. I lined up for Metallica's Load, and I had it in my hand ready to buy, and it was on the listening post, and I wasn't going to wait to get all the way back to Kurrajong. I listened to it, and I went, this is rubbish, and I put it back. And I went and found something else to listen to. So, but I remember, like, that new metal, it was at a time, it come out when sort of heavy metal was struggling to resurface out of the haze of grunge, and it sort of shone a light on the rest of heavy metal, which was but that stuff like Limp Bizkit was, it was really good. Like, I loved Limp Bizkit. Korn was amazing. Like I said, I loved Korn, but there was a few other bands that I listened to. There was one called Taproot. They were sort of a really mellow sort of, Deftones. They're not necessarily new metal, but they come out of that sort of scene, and they're still important today. They're still an exceptional band. So, yeah, I have no qualms with new metal. I think it was important at the time, and the cream, like anything, the cream rises at the top, and guys like Korn and Limp Bizkit continue to sell out. They can do nothing, and still make the news. Like Limp Bizkit, they don't do press anymore. They don't need to. A video of them at Woodstock in '99 come up, and they're headlining again.
Yeah.
That was huge. I saw that. I saw a video of that. Yeah.
It's insane, but they did that. That was 25 years ago, and it pops up in some film, and next thing, everyone's talking about Limp Bizkit again.
Yeah.
And then I saw them last year, and geez, they were good. They started and finished with Break Stuff. It's a big dick move. That's they kicked ass. They were so good. So yeah, I love new metal. Yeah, but I like thrash better.
Yeah. Well, but it's not really like, it's not really for everyone, but really, I mean, having that progression from, say, like rock and roll back in the day to then grunge and then metal, like, it's really kind of like had a bit of a split there. But like, whenever you have like some crazy concert there where there's like celebrity people come in and they do these like diverse songs and everything, I think it just brings everyone together as well. Like, and it creates like just this crazy scene where everyone does come together, and that is exactly what music does over the period of time. It just brings everyone together no matter what. So yeah. I think it's amazing. I mean, like, I honestly wanted to be you, Duane. I did. I wanted to be you because I was playing bass like in my little back in high school, and I started to become okay, and then my mountain biking kind of took over that, and then but I loved it, and I can still pick up a bass and just do like a couple of little chords here and there, and like keep a rhythm going, but like not like you can, obviously, but like it's just something that stays with you for like your entire life.
Yeah, I'll tell you a little cool story, buddy. Like, I haven't picked up a bass for years. Mine actually got stolen. It was in the back of my car that got knocked off one night at the pub.
My bass got stolen too.
Yeah, and I'm spewing. And I talked to Amy about grabbing another one, and she's like, "That's fine, but when are you gonna have the chance to play it?" And she's right. It can sit here. I've got a guitar that I have access to at work, and I never pick the thing up. Like, I pick it up sometimes, and then that's it. But on the latest Knot Fest, which is only a few weeks ago, that's where I met Phil Anselmo from Pantera.
Yep.
It was on that tour. They had the Knot Fest museum, and in the museum they have 3 guitars from the Mick and Jim's guitars, but then also it's the bass, like the Slipknot bass, and you put your headphones on, pick it up and play it. And I'd forgotten how to play. Like, I hadn't picked one up for 20 years, but I was just sitting there, like, just basically first, fourth finger, just up and down the neck doing this, and a little bit of muscle memory come back. But I was like, I walked out of there and I turned to my mate and I said, I'm buying a bass when I get home. So like, I
want to go buy a bass now just to, like,
oh dude,
flames.
it was like a big 24 fret thing. It was huge, and I was just sitting there like this and just, and the way it was set up, it gave me goosebumps. I loved it. So I didn't want to put the thing down. It was awesome. I did like playing music. I was terrible at it. But I like doing
You're not
it
now, so that's what.
Well, I don't play now, so like but I hang out with the musicians. So
I'm great at listening to music. Don't have a musical bone in my body.
yeah, Amy's the singer in our family.
Yeah.
I often joke that Lincoln, our son, will grow up singing like me and drawing like her.
Yes.
Which is a bad combo. Like, he behaves like me and looks like her. So
yep,
it's a dangerous mix. Yeah.
Yeah. So,
but the music.
How is family life?
Yeah, it's good, man. I love it. Yeah, he's like she's amazing. I love her to death. Amy is she's an amazing woman. She works her ass off.
Yep.
Studying to do speech pathology now. She's sort of, it's funny, we moved here from Bathurst and she's got job placement, and sure as shit she's got job placement out at Bathurst. So
oh wow.
Yeah, she's going there for 6 weeks. So it's just gonna be me and the boy. So I'm gonna see how trashed we can make this house. But no, I love it. Yeah,
right? Like, just put it in every single.
I think I'll just bubble wrap everything and then bundle it all up and then bin it. But yeah, I love it. Yeah, family life's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, Amy's a legend, and the boy's fun. He's so much fun. He's little. He's got a little bit of ginger in his hair, so
nothing wrong with that.
That's
black, but it's orange underneath. Orange and grey, but like it's...
yeah, no, he's a firecracker for sure.
No,
but that's good, man. Yeah, of course. But it's
all right. I was going to I just want to bring up Lacey, if you don't mind.
Absolutely.
Just a bit of an acknowledgement towards her. Yeah, she was a massive part of our life, growing up. Every sport we did, we did, athletics, soccer, basketball. She was right there with us, and our relay team that we have awarded 3-time. She was.
We completely annihilated everyone in our path.
You made a lot of other runners look very slow.
We had this team, and then we were okay. No, we killed everyone absolutely for years in a row. Our team, and like the greatest group of people that I've ever met. And Lacey was a massive part of that as well.
Oh yeah.
And so like we decided, like, I've got medals here somewhere which I'd love to show, but like just the ability that we had together was amazing and somewhat unstoppable. And like when your sister passed away like that, it really was a piece of everyone that fell off us. It really was, and like it made us realize of the dangers that are out there. And like I know that like it really wasn't to anyone's definite fault that happened, but it really struck the whole community, and we just had to really think of ourselves in that moment. Like I'm feeling a bit teary now about it, but yeah, it's such an amazing person, and just like someone with so much ability, and just to really drive everyone else on. It was just an absolute pleasure to be involved.
Yeah, I remember the outpouring from the community. That was we got a lot of support, but then like the athletics club, Kurrajong Bilpin, they still have an award there named after her.
Yeah,
how good's that?
And so did Colo Cougars Soccer Club. They're both called the Good Kid Award.
Yep.
And it's funny. friends of Lacey, their kids have been awarded that. Like, you remember Millie and Cassie? They were the twins. They're a bit younger, obviously. But one of them always wanted to win that award, and she won it one year.
Yeah. Okay. Yep.
Oh, that's good. Man.
Lucy. I think she was. She's Lucy Baranowski now. I think she was Lucy Jones back in the day. I can't remember, but
Yeah.
she was a mate of Lacey's at Colo, and her son Oliver won it. So when they come in and tell me that shit, it tears me up. But yeah.
Yeah. 100%. But
And at the time, like I remember we had the day of the service where we sent her off. We basically had to wake up at Colo, and it was like there was like 800 people at that church, and then we went up to McMahon's and we had a kick around, and I drank a million beers and played a game of soccer and fell ass over tit and scuffed myself up. But it was the outpouring at the time, but like we always knew she was special, but we didn't realize that much. So
yeah, it's she was a super tenacious young girl. I remember if we mucked up at a little age, she'd put us in our place. She was she
commanded a bit of respect. She was a natural. She had a natural.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Yeah, she had a natural flair to what she did. I remember her first game of soccer. Nathan, I think your old man coached her for a bit.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, my dad.
Yeah. So
once again.
Yeah. So, but I remember her first game. We were sitting there watching, and they were just about to kick off, and she just ran over to Dad and goes, "Can I have a shot, Dad?" And he's like, "I don't see why not." So she went over, and she beat the skin off the thing, and it went in. So her first touch was a goal. And then there was a day, I'd been drinking the night before. I turned up late, and she runs over, and she clocked me. She goes, "Where the fuck have you been?" I'm like, "I've been in bed. I drank everything in the pub last night." And she goes, "You bastard." And she walked away. I'm like, "What did I miss?" And they go, "She just scored 11 goals."
Oh,
11 or 12 goals it was. They lost 12-1. Oh, they won 12-1.
That's a tenacity. Yeah, she knew how to put people in line. That's
she was a natural striker. I remember
born leader. Yeah.
Born leader.
Yeah, but
amazing.
She was like, I remember seeing her run, and I've seen videos of people who run like it. And she was like she had a hunt. She was a hunter.
Yeah.
Like, ran like she was chasing something, not like she was running away from anything. And she was the same, like she was just a natural predator on the park. Like she was always just hungry to get the goal in the back of that net. So she had that. Yeah. And even now, like Dana's daughter, Ayla, we've been seeing videos of her run, and she doesn't do athletics, and she really should. It's just logistically hard for them to get her to athletics, but she runs. Yeah. She's a dead ringer for Lacey when she's running. You know, like she's not as short ass as Lacey was, but she had that proportionally long legs, and there's something there. So
yeah.
We like, it's been 25 years since she's been gone. So
99, wasn't it?
99, yeah. It's coming up on 25 any day now, I think. Might even be.
Yeah.
I just got to remember the date. It may have been yesterday. I can't remember, but
Might as well have been yesterday. I mean, like, I remember, like, I was overseas, and I came home, and I heard about her passing, and it was such a special moment in a way, because I was away, and like people around me back at home, they didn't tell me until I got home. So I didn't realize that she'd passed until I came home, because they knew that it would upset me. But
yeah, of course. Yeah, it was it was rough. Yeah, bloody hell. I still miss her. But like, to see, like, oh fuck, I'm supposed to draw on that. That's
right, mate, we're all here.
It's a baby. Sorry, it's a baby shit. I'm supposed to draw something. Sorry, Larry. But she was an exceptional. It wasn't just the athletics. She was a great kid. One of my fondest memories, like, we just went out drinking one night, and just hung out, and just got to it was just she was like, I'm going to this party, and I was like 4 years old and had no business being there, but I just loved hanging out with her. So yeah, she's still missed, absolutely. Mum's still, like, we still go and see. She's only up around the corner from where I live now, so she's right there next to Dad. So yeah, but yeah, she was fucking cool, absolutely.
Yeah, man.
Kid.
Amazing person.
Yeah, she was good.
Joan of Arc, you know, like.
Yeah, and a smile that she could get away with murder with that smile too. So yeah, fucking cool kid.
I've still got photos of our team and everything like it. They're in the hallway there, but
Go and get them. Show everyone them onesies.
Yep, I got the same.
I think you're all four of you.
We're not going to bring those out. Maybe in the throw one in there.
Even at the time, I was like,
they made us wear these things, but it was faster, you know. So
it was fast.
It was the fashion of the time.
I hope so.
It was big in Europe.
People used to pinch out.
Someone said you should wear one, and I'm like, I'm good. I like shorts.
As an adult, you know, like I should have been flattered that there were people pinching my bum as I walk along. No, don't talk about it. I'm an adult, and I was like, hey, you touch that, you know? Touch that.
Yeah. But I remember those days. I look back on it fondly. I know whenever I get back into shape, those muscle memories of running, they come back, and
yeah, they do. Yep.
Yeah, and I sometimes forget how fast, like I thought I was, you know. So
yeah,
it's cool. One day I'll get back in the gym and I'll realize how fast I'm not anymore.
Here's a funny story for you. I just remember.
I mean, like, honestly, I can't run anymore. I just can't because my legs are totally screwed from racing bikes. But like, I would love to just get everyone together one day and just have 100-meter sprint.
Yeah, fuck that. I'll time it.
Crew.
Yep.
I mean, like,
You guys are on. It's on.
Each other, like, come along. Like, no, we're almost there. We're almost there. We're not. We're only just off the start line. Just all that dumb stuff.
Better get a CPR machine at the end in a case.
I've got a memory for you, Duane. Do you remember the Ray Ambrose School of Training up at Hawk's Nest?
He was a cruel bastard.
I was his son.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I spent a week with him, and I said, "I don't want you to train me anymore, Ray."
I think I was there. You, me, Chris Pearson, and had to run to the top of this sand dune. Right, run back down. Right, back up again.
Yeah. Remember this?
Hits in mud. Yeah, we were up to it. We were painting stuff. He had us running through mud up to our hips, and but I remember even because I had to go at hurdling and at doing hurdles, and I just wanted to get to state once because I was like I said, I never had that natural ability. I always worked hard. Like I remember running 16-second hundreds, and after maybe a couple of years of training, I finally knocked down to 13s, and then for years I missed the weight until I finally got into the 11s. So. Yeah. Which I thought was fast, but when I went to state and all that sort of stuff, I wasn't. I had these guys blitzing me, but I thought I'd give hurdles a go. And I remember him getting me into that hurdle stretch, you know, where you put one leg out and keep the one around.
I know it well.
And I can't even touch my toes, and he had me that. And then he would say, lean forward, touch your toe. And I was trying, and I couldn't get it. And then one day he goes, I'll make it. And he fucking sat on my back. And my chest hit my knee. And I was like, fuck off, Ray. Fuck off. Hold the stretch. He was sitting on me. He's fucking 30 kilos heavier than me. Yeah, he was a cruel bastard.
Like, it's not like you had a choice.
That's it.
I'll tell you though, like in those moments too, Ray just talked to me about everything. He gave me a few bits of advice and some stuff that stuck into the back of my head. And but yeah, he's like I remember, but above all, I remember him sitting on my back, and this is how my hamstring snaps. So
I laugh about it, but like sometimes you need that inspiration. I mean, like sometimes, like it's not frowned upon, but like pushing guys and girls like around you, like I've done coaching myself, and like just giving that little bit of drive and just like that bit of encouragement. I mean, like sitting on your back is probably a little bit, but like
yeah, I thought it was extreme.
That inspiration, you know? I mean, like it's not there to just hang out. I mean, like if you're there and you want to win, then just having that little bit more encouragement, it does stir you on, you know. I mean, like Like, I can only think of my own times in mountain bike racing. I mean, like until I actually got beat in a proper way, I was like, right, I'm gonna start to copy this and just start to analyze this and like just be stronger myself. Like you need that bit of drive because you can't just go through life with just like everyone just like, oh yeah, happy here's a best and fairest award for you. So like it can't be like that. But there are sort of there are levels of encouragement, there are levels of success, but yeah, just fantastic people, man. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, some of it must have worked because, like, I never made it to state as a junior athlete, but I made it to a state final as a senior athlete. I think I was about 17 or so, and I came dead last. Don't you worry, but I snuck in by I would have snuck in by a nose hair
Yeah.
from missing out on that final. So I got to the final, which I would have liked to have done better, but I was definitely happy I achieved that much because, like I said, when I started out, I was a mid-level runner at best, and I worked my ass off to just be a mediocre athlete, I suppose. But I love doing it. I trained my ass off. I remember doing hill sprints down at McMahon's. I turned up to training Mondays and Thursdays. I remember at one stage with different sports, I was training 6 days a week and doing a few mornings as well, and I loved it. But yeah,
Determination.
We had some great coaches up there too. Marilyn Pearson, she was
she's still there, man.
huge inspiration for me.
I really want to get on the
yeah.
podcast if she's listening out there. Like,
Yeah, tell her we say hi. Hey, Marilyn.
Yeah, oh God, I haven't seen her for a while. I bump into Mick on occasion.
Yep.
Usually at a Kiss concert.
Oh yeah.
But he's but like she's on Facebook and she's still up there coaching and she's still pumping out some star athletes. Some of them are world beaters. Like she's an exceptional coach. There's some of them. You know what? A few years ago, they asked me to go and present Lacey's award, and I got teared up on stage. I thought they haven't asked me back. but I remember I was standing next to Marilyn, and I was looking at these kids, and I was saying, like, she coached me when I was your age, and that's a long time ago, and that was like 25, 30 years before that. And I remember I got to meet a few of her athletes, and the way that they talked about her, there was nothing but like true love. Like they adore this woman, and their families. Like, if you had a bad word to say about Marilyn, then there's something wrong with you.
Exactly, 100%.
These kids adored her. The parents adored her, and she's bloody good at what she does. Like you could probably Google her and you'd find a bunch of awards at state and Australian levels where she's been awarded for not just her efforts, but for her achievements as well. Like she's an excellent coach and bloody good person. But me and her daughter Mick, her son Mick will be pissed to hear that.
Yeah, he's a daughter.
Mick and I used to hang out and play music. Yeah, Mick was one of those freak musicians. He'd go the first time he saw a drum kit, he's like, "Can I have a go?" And then 5 minutes later, he's playing Metallica level stuff. So
yeah, wow.
Yeah, so we used to hang out. So I used to see Marilyn quite a lot, and then she'd just give me a program. I'd go and do it, say thanks, and go home and see her again 2 days later. So
yeah,
still going. I believe she's been talking about retiring for 20 years, and she's still going.
Just the love of the sport.
Absolutely amazing woman, man. Like, inspired all of us. Like it inspired our entire community, to be honest. Yeah.
For sure, man. She was like, I had a few coaches up there over the years, but they sort of come and go. But Marilyn always stayed. And she was, for me, she was the most effective. She was always the one I went to.
Yep. I remember, I vividly remember trying to get over. I can't remember the height, but she was high jump training me for a while, and I had to get over a certain height. It was maybe 1.65 or 1.70, something like that. And we were at training. She's you know what? For every centimeter you get over this, I'm going to give you $1. So I'll tell you what, I jumped pretty quick. I think I made about $8 or $9 that night. So, but they're the incentives that she gave, and
she never offered me money, but she did feed me.
Where was my money?
I thought I'm a professional now. I'm getting paid for my sport.
And she feed me when I went over.
Yeah,
but just you're talking about like the this isn't necessarily tied to Maryland, but I remember when do you remember Lockley Thompson was the high
Yes.
jumper?
Yeah.
And he went to Colo High. I think
He
you
was
guys
a big
Colo.
inspiration for me when I was coming through. Yeah.
Yeah, man, he was a freak, man.
Yeah.
I remember his father coached him with high jump, and he went to the Olympics. I think he went to the '92 Olympics.
Yeah. Yep.
And but I remember sitting there. I remember seeing him at McMahon's. He would wheel out a Sulo bin, and he would like jump over it upright, like the Matrix. He was just a freak. And then one day we were down at ES Marks at Randwick. I think they've torn up that place and replaced it with something else, but there was the track down there at Randwick, and I was doing racing, and he was doing high jump, and he was trying to qualify for the Olympics, and he had to jump 228.
Wow. Yeah.
And I think in the end he cleared 232.
Yeah,
I was there when he did it, and he was always sort of that cool bloke, and I loved watching him jump. And I was sitting there with his spike bag, and he was just coming back and talking to me and going, "I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do that." And then he cleared 232, and he screamed, and he won the jump. Went up, hugged his old man. I was there the day he qualified for the Olympics, and I was like, I always wanted to be an Olympian, but I was never good enough. But I tried. I went for it. I've met a few Olympians in my life, and they all come out of the Hawkesbury. Like Thompson. There's Luke Castley. He played for the Ollie Roos, and there's and I think he was a Colo High bloke as well. And then there's Schwarzer and. There's some talent coming out of the Hawkesbury, but as far as
perfect breeding ground there, it was. I mean, like just looking back at the Hawkesbury, like some of the characters that come out of there. I mean, like us ourselves, we've had our own achievements and stuff like that. But like some of the crazy stories and like all the people. I mean, like I know there's other stories out there, but like we really were like such a close community, and we remember these people in such a way. Like we go on these different directions as we go along. It's just like. The message that I'm trying to get across right here is just like stay close to your communities and just like really remember those sporting achievements. And like if you can get involved in a sport, local sport, go ahead and do that. Like you create so much friendship and like so much camaraderie no matter what. I mean, like some guys and girls out there, like they might be young, they sit there on their PlayStation and stuff, put it down and just go down to your local club and just say good day, just say and just like grow this. I mean, like we've all known each other for a very long time now. And like here we are presenting this great little show, and like it's just it's a future that you need to think about. It's great.
Yeah, well, and I suppose the other. I mean, you said that there's something in the air up there. Like I remember we used to say Apple Power.
Yes, yeah, we did. I forgot them.
But I've been a member of Colo Soccer for 40 years now. I just did 40 years. We signed up there in '84, and my boy is 3.5, so next year he's old enough to play soccer and do athletics. And we live at Riverston, and there's an athletics club down here. And my missus come home one day. Amy goes, there's an athletics club down here. We can sign him up there. And I said, no, you fucking won't. I'm going to take him to Currajong. He's going to be Currajong Bilpin. And I said, look, we work in Currajong on Friday Arvo. She'll pick him up from school, running to Currajong. We'll go down to McMahon.
You'll make it work. Yeah.
Yeah, I said, he's going to play soccer for Colo. He's going to run for Currajong Bilpin, and he might win those Lacey Awards one day. So
that's it. Yeah, good.
Wouldn't that be good? Wouldn't that be good?
Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be amazing. Yeah.
So I think we've come to our end of our podcast today. But in parting, we usually do 3 questions.
Oh yeah.
And these are the same questions each week, but we'll start off with what is your favorite Metallica song and why?
Shit. It's fuck. That's a. I'm gonna swear my way through this whole answer. The one that comes to mind, I love Master of Puppets. I love that solo because you can sing along to it.
Yep.
But then I also like. I think it's Frayed Ends of Sanity. It's the song on Injustice for All that starts off, oh we oh.
I know it well.
Yeah, it's but like Justice is my favorite album.
Yep.
And it depends on the mood. Sometimes I love listening to Leper Messiah. Like some of my best songs are on Master of Puppets, but my favorite album is Injustice for All. So
yep.
But I'll say, if you want a definitive answer, I'm just going to say Master of Puppets because I love singing along to that guitar solo. I think it's there's something magic about that. It's perfect.
Good answer. Whatever you said.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
one. That's my favourite.
Oh yeah, it's a good one.
Yeah, love that
I
song.
loved it. I know whenever I saw it live, the first time I saw him was in '93, and there was no seats behind us. We were the furthest back we could be. And I remember when one started and the walk sounds, and when that come on, it was like a holy moment. It was something like I'd get goosebumps thinking about it today.
Yeah. Have you got a favourite Metallica song, Nathan?
I don't have a favorite Metallica song. I don't. I mean, like it all sort of, I love music, and like for one to stand out, but like just that album, Ride the Lightning, just the whole thing. Like you just put it on, it just like you're driving your car and like you almost fall asleep to metal music. It's like it's kind of weird, but like just a great little song. So I mean, the whole album itself, yeah.
It's funny that like for me, those first four albums that's the best. I loved the Black Album, their fifth album, but I played and listened to that so much. The only time I really listen to it anymore is when I hear Metallica play it live, or when it pops up in a video somewhere. I burnt that album into the ground.
I was the same, and for a long time I didn't listen to anything past the Black Album.
Yeah.
Because I thought nothing competed with the previous albums beforehand. So